Welcome back into the third podcast of Tavern Takes.
Third.
Check out the best bets that we have been posting daily with Josh. You saw him on the second podcast that we recorded. That is on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Tavern Takes the name. We welcome back reoccurring guest Will, Uncle Poppy 26 on all the socials, and new guest Sawyer. Sawyer, tell us a little bit about yourself here.
Huge Bucks fan, huge Marquette fan, high school basketball coach. Hoops are my life. It's all hoops all the time. That's all that's going on over here. It's nothing but hoops. That's all you need to know.
So today we're going to talk a little NBA trade deadline and some college basketball at the tail end of everything. Today, I thought we'd lead with what I would call the biggest NBA story right now, and that is basically De'Aaron Fox saying, "Trade me to the Spurs." So, I'll throw it to you guys. What do you think that package looks like to get that deal done? And do you think that package is worth it? Because the Spurs have a lot of picks. Like they have Atlanta's first rounder this year, unprotected. And with Jalen Johnson getting hurt, suddenly that pick probably becomes pretty valuable. So, what do you think they put in a package for that? And do you think it's worth it this year to get De'Aaron Fox? Because personally, I don't see the Spurs making the NBA Finals, even with the Fox and Wemby. Like, I think they're a year or two away from that yet. But, what do you guys think?
You're building for the future, man. You can't when you want something, you go get it. And I think that's what the Spurs are wanting to do. I don't know. I hope they don't, because I want them to go to Miami. But
do you think now's the time though? Like for the Spurs, if you're the Spurs, do you go get?
See, that's where I'm at too.
If I'm the Spurs, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't think I would.
Well, just because right now I'm that girl that's like eyeing him up too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
The Spurs. He has his eyes on the Spurs. But when you're out of the bar and you got the other you got that choice to make, the Spurs you got your eye on one, but the other one's calling. It's what is it, boys? It's like 140.
So this is where it's interesting, because I believe Fox's contract isn't up until. I believe it's another 2 years. I think he's got another 2 years. Yeah, before he's a free agent.
Well, he's a clutch.
If you're the Spurs, do you wait and maybe hope that Luka says screw the Mavericks, or do you throw all your assets? Like I said, they have a lot of draft picks.
Do they have to throw?
You're gonna be giving up.
So
I gotta imagine they're giving
contract for this year and next year.
Yeah, so I gotta imagine they're giving up bare minimum. I gotta say at least 3 firsts to get him.
Well, if you include Vassell, I think it's less.
Yeah,
I think
you'll probably get Vassell in 2.
But would you do it for Vassell in 2? Like if
right
you're
now,
Spurs,
I wouldn't. But
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
Right now, I wouldn't want him.
The Heat would give him 2 first-round picks.
I think they can get a better offer from the Heat. Like, if from the Kings' perspective, I would rather talk to the Heat about it, because the Spurs have all the leverage in my mind.
Yeah,
they don't
because he only wants to go to one place. But that trade list is one team.
Okay, so it comes down to how bad do the Spurs want him? So coming from the Heat perspective, on Dame, where it was like Dame wanted to go to Miami, and guess what happened? Bucks came in sweep, and look what happens. A little different though, because Dame had a longer contract, but he is an older
player too,
and he's a clutch player. You know what I'm saying? he's a Clutch client. So what does Clutch do? They get their players where they want to be, and if it does open the door, the Heat pay him, he's gonna go where they get paid. If I'm the Spurs and you want him, that's what you do. But Cole brought up a good point. Do they want De'Aaron that bad? Is it De'Aaron wants to be a Spur? That's it all. That's what I think really decides it for the Spurs, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a good move from De'Aaron because De'Aaron wants to go there, right? So he has to come out and say, I want to be a Spur.
Absolutely.
But if you're the Spurs, does that make you want to? I mean, it probably does a little bit, but like, if you're the Spurs, does that make you want to do the deal today? When you can maybe get him, you can maybe get him 18 months from now. Just sign him. You don't have to give up any of the picks.
But the thing is you don't. If I'm another team, you don't make that trade unless he signs. So if they do, if you're just lollygagging around and the team gets the Kings to agree, and De'Aaron's like, okay, you don't want me, kind of like the Jimmy situation again. He goes, you don't want me, now I want to go here. And do you risk it? That's all I'm saying. It all comes down to the Spurs. How bad do they want De'Aaron Fox? Is he the guy? Is he the perfect guy next to Wemby? I don't know. Is it better to just hold on to Stephon Castle and wait 18 months? They can afford to. So I see it. I see them not being.
I don't think you give
you
up
risk. No, God,
absolutely
no.
not.
No. If they ask for Castle, you hang up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And also, like, what is Wemby? 19? 18?
No, he's 21 now, isn't he?
Is he 21?
He's 21 already.
Either way, the timeline for Wemby, you can wait 2 years.
Yeah, no, you can
hear me out. Like you can wait 2 years and not give up any of those assets. See what happens to the Hawks this year if they decline because Jalen Johnson is hurt.
He's out.
And then you end up with a lotto pick, which
Johnson's out for this season.
You see where those balls land, and you could end up with Cooper freaking Flag. Like I'm sorry, unless that trade is Keldon Johnson, Chris Paul, and like the Spurs first, and another Spurs first.
I think it'll be Keldon
I don't do it. I don't do it.
I don't think it's Chris Paul. I think they like Chris Paul.
But to get Fox, you give up Chris Paul.
No,
you don't
to get Fox, you would give up Chris Paul, but
you don't.
I don't think. Why would the Kings want Chris Paul?
Right. I think it's Harrison Barnes just because his contract is 18. And I think it just.
I don't think they give up Barnes. I think that package is.
Well, what I've seen, the trade machines that I've seen, it's been a lot of Harrison Barnes.
I mean, the Spurs.
Well, it's Barnes or Paul.
Yeah,
because it's got to be a salary.
It's really different. So it would probably be it'd be Paul and someone else.
So
yeah.
Go ahead. So the Spurs are 21 and 24 right now, right?
Yeah. In a tough West.
Today they're the 12 seed. They're 2 games out of the play-in. If they get De'Aaron Fox, this week or next week, like, are they even going to make the play-in this year?
Yeah, they make the play-in.
You think?
I don't know how much further it goes than that.
Well, the Kings drop out, but are they passing the Warriors or the Suns to get into the play-in?
Well, it depends on if the Warriors get Butler. Yeah, exactly. It depends on if the Warriors get Jimmy. I mean, this is
the De'Aaron Fox trade to the Spurs means Jimmy is going to be involved in that because from what I've heard is whatever trade happens, it's going to be massive.
It's going to be some 5-team bullshit.
Yep.
I don't believe that Jimmy. I don't believe that.
What?
Is Levine getting kicked into that too, or
unless he's going?
Somebody said that it's going to be Jimmy, Levine, and someone else that for sure is going to get traded. So we'll see.
Well, this
I'm looking at the
standings
right now. I'm looking at the standings right now, dude. There's no way. Maybe the Lakers fall off, but if they sit people off, there's no way they lose another LeBron. There's no way they make the play-in this year.
The Spurs? I don't think so either. No. I don't think they're playing no matter what.
Because the Kings are out, and that'd be the only team. But then I can see the Warriors if they get Jimmy.
Yeah, the Warriors and Suns are still going to be better than the Spurs, even if the Spurs get De'Aaron Fox.
Here's what I'll tell you. De'Aaron Fox was the best player on a team that had the 2 seed in the West a mere year ago, and the West
get out
is
of the first
down.
round.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they could.
But
With Fox and
De'Aaron
Wemby
Fox
this year? Didn't we just say they might even make the playoffs?
I think they could get out of the first round.
100%. You think if the Spurs traded for De'Aaron Fox right now, they could end up getting out of the first round?
I do.
As a playing team?
They're
not getting up to
this is gonna kill me because I hate the fucking Big East, but I think Stephon Castle is that good. I am firm in the Bill Simmons camp.
It's year one.
Of Stephon Castle.
He's gonna get picked. Even if they do make it to the playoffs, he's gonna get picked on. It's his first year. It's the NBA.
Who's gonna get picked on?
Stephon Castle.
Stephon Castle's an great defender.
It's the fucking NBA.
I
don't care.
It's not the NBA regular season. It's the playoffs.
NBA playoffs rookies.
Where are they picking on?
If you're a 3D rookie, you can maybe almost do your role to like 75%. If you're a legitimate contributor, once you get into the playoffs, man, it's tough.
Yep, the guys stop losing money and stop making our prop bets lose, and then we turn it on for real. That's what happens in the NBA playoffs.
So hear me out. De'Aaron Fox with Domantas Sabonis as the number 2 can get a fucking 2 seed. But you're telling me De'Aaron Fox, Wemby, and Stephon Castle can't make it out of the first round?
I mean,
there was some other good pieces on that case.
Herder hit everything.
A little dirty. Harrison Barnes and Malik Monk.
Davian Mitchell guarding his ass off.
Harrison Barnes, the guy that's on the Spurs right now?
That's okay.
You make a fair point, but it's Poppy back. It's not coaching.
I'm not saying they're winning a title.
I'm
just saying they can get out of the first. Okay, all right. So
if you're the Spurs, do you even want to make the playoffs this year, or do you want another lottery pick?
I want to.
If you don't have to give up that Atlanta, if you don't have to give up that Atlanta pick, yes.
Well, you have the Atlanta pick. They have other picks too.
They do. See, that's the thing. The Spurs got so many damn picks. How many assets?
They have Charlotte too. They have Charlotte.
Let's be honest. Okay. Hear me.
There's 4 teams. There's 4 teams in the NBA that have picks.
Okay, but hear me out. Say De'Aaron Fox goes into free agency. He's from Texas. Let's remember that as well.
Bam's his groomsman.
Why in the hell would he sign anywhere other than San Antonio? You're going to be playing next to Wemby.
Because he wants to go.
You're making the playoffs and competing for championships for the next at least 5 years.
Minimum,
assuming he stays healthy. If not more than that.
Probably a decade. Realistically.
A decade.
The power of friendship. That's why, Cole.
The power.
Who's he friends with? Where else? If I'm De'Aaron Fox and I'm a free agent, I don't consider anywhere else other than San Antonio to sign.
His best friend.
It's where he wants to go.
His groomsman.
Is it Tyler Hero?
No, not the white guy.
They're Kentucky guys. I don't know.
Yeah. The other Kentucky guy.
All right.
Bam. Yeah.
Oh,
Bam was.
Right.
They're all Kentucky guys. All right.
Yeah, there's 3 Kentucky guys, and Bam was his groomsman. You see that? That's Bam right there.
I don't care if he's his groomsman.
Why is his list
signing with the Spurs?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why is this list one?
That's just my pipe dream. But for real, yeah, I'm with you guys. I think it'd be stupid not to play with Wemby. Other than being a Frenchie, Wemby's awesome.
But if you're
the question Spurs, is if you're the
right? You have to wait. Why do you want to do this deal today? Like, why do you want to give up assets?
The only reason you would is if he's going to sign somewhere else, and he's not making it that way. To me,
I would let him go play for the Heat for a year or two, like whatever, for the rest of this year and next year, and then get him in free agency.
But the thing is that he wouldn't make that trade without him signing a contract. That's
exactly.
So I don't know. I'm with you. I don't know why they would do it. I wouldn't, because I think
You're not winning a championship this year.
I
know.
would. I'd keep Vassell. I'd keep
So why
Castle,
give up
I'd
the
keep what I
assets?
have,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they'll have the cap space to go get him.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
mean, it's
hell
not
yeah.
even just him. Like maybe like Ant in a few years if he comes out and wants to go somewhere, or Luca, just
Luka.
anybody at the age range.
Also, though, like since like the Kawhi year when Kawhi signed with the Clippers, like when's the last time like a legitimate like good NBA free agent has actually like hit
Left.
free agent
Yeah,
market?
left.
Like they always get traded for.
Paul George did he? What didn't he sign?
Well,
But
that was the same year. That was the same year.
that was last year to the Sixers.
Was that a
Who?
free agent deal?
I'm pretty sure he was because the Clippers just lost him for nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like the Heat might
Yeah, they
just letting him go because he gave him.
yeah,
feel
but
like never
playoff. Yeah, okay, but
No, it
playoff
doesn't. I mean,
P's
how old-
also been ass.
how
Norman
old-
Powell's
how old is
been
he?
better than playoff P.
How old
Yeah,
is he?
yeah, he is.
35, 34.
Norman
So
Powell
yeah,
should have been an all-star.
Did you say Logan Bull?
Norman Powell should have been an all-star.
Norman Powell should not.
Look
be an
at his
all-star.
numbers, dude. Look at his numbers.
For the
They're-
Raptors. Who gives a fuck?
Norman Powell plays for the
If
Clippers.
Norman
Oh,
Powell
my.
should have been an all-star, LaMelo Ball should have
He's
been.
averaging like 24 a game for the
LaMelo
Clippers.
Ball's
right
averaging 31. Not an
Yeah,
all-star.
and you know, the only reason he got any all-star consideration is because the fans
Yeah.
voted him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norman Powell is having a good season. 49.
Norman Powell is having an
field goal,
insanely
field.
good season.
Norman Powell is good at basketball.
43 from
He's
from three.
yeah. Like, okay, like all jokes aside, if Kawhi Leonard can stay healthy, like the Clippers, for some reason, are a dangerous team in the West.
So
Like,
okay,
I don't want to bring it up,
Paul
but
George
it's true.
earlier.
Are we gonna go Clippers talk right now?
Yes.
No,
I'm
I'm just
willing to
saying.
do
I'm
Clippers
just
talk,
saying.
but it's
I just want to make a point that what I was going to say about Paul George and going to the Sixers was him leaving in free agency opened up the Sixers to be able to make not the Sixers. I'm sorry, the Clippers to be able to make a couple moves and beef up that team. And I feel like they're playing better because
They are
That
better.
Derek Jones
They are
Jr. signing,
Dude,
that
I
Derek
love
Jones
him.
Jr. signing
I love
is so
that.
good.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's maybe like from the Heat. I'm moving it to the Heat. So, from the Heat perspective, like maybe you do let Jimmy just walk and just let him go, stay home, and then
Don't
and then
let
put
him
some
walk.
pieces.
You got to get something.
You put some pieces around Tyler and Bam. Like the team right now is not built well.
You
So
could at
maybe
least get
then-
something. Get an expiring for him so you can still do those
But
pieces.
right now, there's nobody. He only wants to go to the Suns, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know how he gets to the Suns, but
Golden
I don't
State.
Because
think.
the Suns can't trade him.
Kaminga.
I feel like even
You telling
the
me
Heat-
you wouldn't be excited about Kaminga?
No, because you have to pay him. Give me Brandon Ingram. Give me Brandon Ingram
you want Brandon Ingram?
for a year. I'll take it.
Yeah, he is expiring.
I
He
mean,
is expiring.
honestly,
You know what the other
Bad
option
next
is that
year.
I've been seeing? You know why I'm okay with Brandon Ingram, Sawyer?
Why?
Julius. I can't even think of his name. Julius Randle.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
Well,
there
it-
is some.
Well, yeah,
okay,
you're
okay,
you're
hey,
asking to
hey,
lose
hey.
in the second round though with that formula.
Okay, hey, all right. Hear me out.
Want to make the playoffs.
Okay. I mean, if that's what you're trying to do, yeah, then
Yeah,
sure.
That's why you just send him home. Let Tyler score 30. I don't care.
All
Where's
right.
home? Is home Milwaukee? Can we get him for the minimum?
Who?
Jimmy.
Tyler Hero.
Dude, I wouldn't be mad about that. I have put it in the chat a couple times that I think Jimmy to Milwaukee makes sense. Give us Cade.
No,
I don't think he'd play hard
want
for us.
him.
I don't think he'd
don't
play
want
hard
him.
for us. If I
Um,
thought Jimmy was going to play hard
Why
for us,
wouldn't
I
he?
would
The thing
absolutely
is,
be all
why wouldn't he? Like, you playing with Giannis.
I don't
and
know what
He's
goes
playing
on in
with
that guy's
James.
brain.
Dude, he's weird. I
I
love
have-
him. He's weird.
I've followed basically his entire life since the time Marquette was recruiting him.
You have.
I started following Jimmy Butler in 2011. I don't know anything about the guy.
He's weird.
If
I've studied him.
Will
I know
if
nothing
the
about
Marquette guy is like, I don't know what's going on in his brain, I don't want him. I'm sorry, but I
I've
don't
known
want him.
who
He's
Jimmy
a
Butler
great
was since he was
basketball player.
18. I know nothing about him,
He's
He's
a
a
great
hell of a
basketball,
basketball
player.
player.
He's so good, and he loves dominoes.
especially when he
dominoes.
wants to be good. He's so good when he wants to be good.
He's
incredible.
Jimmy's. He's Jordan's son when he wants.
Well,
to.
yeah, he is Michael Jordan's son. That's probably a fact.
Yep.
Maybe.
But who does he want to be good for is the problem right now.
That's my thought. Like, I don't think he wants to be good for the Bucks.
You know what I think? I think he wants to be good for whoever pays him. I feel like if the Bucks offer him the extension he wants, I think he will.
Hell no.
Like, there is a
Hell
part of me that wants to think
no.
like he comes to the Bucks and him and Doc Rivers have a conversation and it's this
Doc
awesome Marquette thing for my brain, but I doubt it.
It'd be
You
good.
wanna-
for me. It'd be good.
You
for me.
want to pay that
It's
man?
like it'd be like fan fiction for me if it happened, but I don't think it'll happen.
Neither.
You want to pay that man the money he wants?
No, the Heat don't want to
He
do it.
wants the max, Sawyer. There's no way we could build a team.
I would
Okay,
rather
while
have
we're
this
on the
one.
max,
I
we're
will say that.
I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna bring it up because we had some contention last episode about this. Levine. So you prefer to have Levine over Jimmy?
I would
I
rather
do.
gamble on Jimmy Butler than Levine, though.
Thank you.
See, I'm the opposite, and the only reason I'm the
Never been
opposite is
impressed
because
by
Levine's a little younger, and I feel like
He's
it
younger.
opens our window
But he's
by
never
a
done
year or
a
two
fucking
more,
thing.
and that's the only reason I think it.
But he's
I
never done
like
anything.
Levine.
I got a way to pose this question, Cole. Okay.
He's a real
So-
nice volume scorer.
So do you want to have your core three be Levine, Dame, and Giannis, and some mid-level guys, and maybe like Andre Jackson and
Yeah, but if I gotta pay Jimmy,
might-
if I gotta pay Jimmy the fucking max, it's the same thing, dude. I'm sorry.
That's
it's
what
the
I'm going to
same
ask.
thing.
That's where I'm going. So would you rather have that core because you're locked up? You're gonna be in the apron. You can't do shit. Or would you rather have a core of Jimmy, Dame, and Giannis? I don't think anybody beats that core. That's my problem. Like if Jimmy becomes,
I don't think anybody beats that
Jimmy,
core this
Jimmy
year.
Butler, like that's
This year.
nasty.
with Jimmy Butler, you can get out after 1 year.
Yeah, see,
Levine,
that's
you're
the
stuck
thing.
for the next 3. That's where I'm like.
If I knew Jimmy was gonna be like, I'm out after this year, I'd be
If you don't
more
pay him, you
inclined to
wouldn't.
make that trade. I'd be more inclined to make that trade.
I would love
because
to
then-
do like a Kawhi thing with Jimmy. That would be sick.
That's
that 1 year.
That's
That
what I want to happen.
Like, this is what we're doing. We're going for it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would be all about that.
it would hurt
Yep.
me a little. It would hurt.
I
me a
agree
little
with
because that's
that.
what I wanted in Miami with Dame, but I would enjoy watching it.
I
Because I
think we
love
would
Jimmy
get it.
so
I
much.
think that roster would get it done too.
Same.
Yeah, I do too.
That's what
I
but why
personally,
wouldn't
I
you do it?
agree.
So
Like,
why wouldn't you do
if you're telling me I got Giannis, Dame, and Jimmy Butler all like going all in, that's I
Hard to
feel
So,
I feel extremely good about.
Here's the only problem I have with that. If it doesn't go all in and work this year, we're done because he's got an opt-in for what, Will, like 50 mil next year, and then we're screwed.
Well, no, you do a sign and trade. Maybe he wants to. Then he could go to the Suns. You know, because the difference is waiting the offseason. There's like 10 teams that can facilitate a trade. Right now, the only way that they could make a trade happen is if the Suns trade Beal. In the offseason, there's more options and more ways to do it. And
it gets a lot easier.
And that's why this whole situation would have been better if Jimmy wouldn't have been he quit on the team. If Jimmy doesn't quit on the team, he finishes this season out and then he's able to move wherever he wants. It'd be much easier, but he's kind of cornered now. It's a rough situation, you know. And I think that's why I like it for the Bucks, 1 year gamble, because that's what I wanted the Heat to do. So that's my.
All right, so we're going to transition into the Bill Simmons trade value list, which he did the top 85 players, of which he thought had the best trade value. And mind you, this isn't just talent. This is also based off contracts and other stuff as well. So just because a guy's really talented doesn't mean he's high up on this list. See Joel Embiid at number 58. So let's open the floor on this a little bit. I know we kind of talked about this, but off camera, that we kind of all agree that Joel Embiid contract is nuts, man, because the guy doesn't play, and I believe he's due 60 mil next year. But if you're the Suns, right, are you thinking like, okay, well, Philly calls us, hey, we'll take Bradley Beal's dog shit contract for Joel Embiid. Do you take that chance? Because Embiid, Durant, Booker, assuming Embiid can come back, do you take a flyer on that, or where you at with that, guys?
It's strictly Bradley Beal. I would do it for Bradley Beal.
Oh, that's the only way that works because
there's not much else I would do it for, but I would do it for Bradley Beal
and that's the only way that works because that's the only way you can make the money work. Is Philly taking on that Bradley Beal contract and what I would assume would have to be picks, but then again, like
what picks?
Joel doesn't play.
What picks?
So why are you giving up picks for Joel? What is his worth?
But why would you take back Bradley Beal's contract?
You get off of it in 2 years. Joel's is like the next
2 years. I thought it was
4
3
or 5.
Well, and you bring up a good point on Embiid. Did you guys see the stat? It was going around Twitter. So he has been featured in 446 games total in the regular season, which is 47.3% of the games since he's been drafted for the Sixers. That's insane.
It is truly insane.
For making as much as he's making.
It's a great PTO package.
Right? Like, come on, sign me up. Unlimited PTO right there.
Let's put it in brass tacks. What is he worth? Like, Will, you're a Miami fan. Sawyer, you're a Milwaukee fan. What would you give up right now? Like, honest to God, what would you give up for Joel Embiid?
Yeah, but
he's the most keep that in mind. He was the most valuable player.
He doesn't play. My problem with Jimmy is he doesn't play.
Healthy. You think that guy's staying healthy for 4 playoff series?
He's 30.
I mean,
he's 30 now. He's not mid-20s where he's like, okay, maybe he could.
Maybe it'll happen.
He's 30. It hurts. It hurts when you're 30.
It's not gonna happen.
Would I trade Tyler Hero for Joel Embiid?
Yes.
Hell no.
Yes.
I wouldn't.
Would you
actually
hang
up the phone if I was Miami?
Would you actually
hang up the phone?
Trade Tyler.
You'd trade Tyler Hero. You would trade Tyler Hero for Joel Embiid?
Is that assuming you'd keep Jimmy?
That's insanely interesting.
Yeah. That's assuming I keep Jimmy. Yeah. I wanted to pair him up again. I wanted to pair him up again, and I love Bam at the 4, and I think him, Bam, and Jimmy would just be locked out. They would need a guard.
That's
they would need to find a way to find a
play.
guard.
I don't know if I'd trade Jaime Jaquez for Joel Embiid.
No, yeah. I agree.
But if I'm keeping Jimmy,
you gotta assume this dude's gonna play.
I'm assuming.
Will, point to me where he has played multiple playoff series without like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna play today. He's kind of got.
Well, I can't remember the last time the Sixers made it out the first round. So
yeah, because it hasn't happened.
Around a decent amount.
It hasn't happened.
I don't remember.
That's why you can't say anything because it hasn't happened.
I don't remember.
It took him to 7.
His salary in the next 3 seasons is 51, 55, and 58.
Dude's making 60 mil.
Yeah, that I did not know that.
So
I did not know that. I don't know. I just
you'd rather have Tyler. Let me answer the question for you. You'd rather have Tyler Hero.
Oh,
God. I love Tyler. Yeah. All-star
I wouldn't
Tyler,
think
by the
twice.
Way. All-star
Tyler. I don't know if
I'd
trade Chris Middleton for him, and Chris Middleton plays about as much as he does.
Chris Middleton for him. You trade Chris Middleton for Jimmy Butler. You would trade Chris Middleton.
To be honest with you,
I'd trade Chris Middleton for Joel Embiid. I would do that.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I might have spoken too early, but yeah, I agree. Yeah.
They play the same amount in Joel.
All right. So the thing,
I guess I can give you that.
So Joel Embiid is 54 on this list.
58. Right? Thank you very much.
58. Oh, then am I looking at the right one then?
Oh, maybe it's 54. He might have changed it from his podcast.
He's 54. He's in the sorry I can't answer your call. I'm taking a long sad walk. Please leave a message after the beep. So
I
might be in the wrong
that's
one.
That's about right.
I'm trying to think.
There's one team in the league that can make that trade, and it's Beal. It's the Suns because
it's awful contracts.
You got to make contracts. Yeah, it's a terrible effing contract. Is the problem.
But why do you even think about that if you're the Sixers? If you're the Sixers, you're better off banking on him playing.
Because they suck.
But you
Tank.
don't
Tank for
want
Cooper Flag.
Do you want to
Tank
watch
for Cooper Flag.
You want to watch Bradley Beal and Paul George play together?
No. If you're going to trade Embiid,
awful.
you trade playoff PP to someone who's willing to give
No
anything for
way.
that.
They said they
'Cause
wouldn't
he's
trade him within the
garbage
first
too.
year.
He's been
I didn't.
He's
So
terrible.
they said they wouldn't trade him.
He's
within
almost
the
as
first
bad
year.
as Beal. Actually, I think Beal might be the better contract.
No way.
Paul George
could
has been
argue.
awful. Paul George has been awful.
I haven't
Like,
watched. enough
okay,
of
all
it
right.
too long.
Let's take out the contract. Paul George's numbers are pissed this year. Like, it ain't good, homie.
I can't even find him on
it
this
ain't-
ranking.
Oh. At least, okay, so
Paul
the
George,
Suns moved.
Paul
So
George's
the
numbers
Suns,
are really bad.
the Suns moved Beal to the bench. The Suns moved Beal to the bench, and at least he's responded by coming out and giving a shit. Like Paul George,
He's
homie,
shooting low.
Bradley
career
Beal
low,
does-
there ain't
three.
nothing.
People like to put a bad name on Bradley Beal from the because basically because he took the Washington contract. People like to think that he doesn't care. Bradley Beal does care. I will give him that.
He does. I agree.
He's not a superstar like people like to think he is, but he does care.
He's efficient.
He does
He's
try to
efficient.
win.
I mean, he is shooting 48% from.
No, he's
the
efficient.
field
He's a good
goal, and
basketball player.
he's shooting 39 from three.
He's just had a really weird career where he started out. Him and John Wall were like good together, and like people just have an inflated opinion of him.
That's
That's not his
former
fault.
Gator over here. I think you're selling me on Bradley Beal, Sawyer. Don't do this
I
to
think
me.
Bradley Beal's a good basketball player. I like Bradley.
I
Beal.
do- I
love
agree
Bradley
with
Beal
Sawyer.
at Florida.
So
agree with Sawyer.
would you rather have Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine, Cole?
Oh, Zach LaVine.
Nah,
Look at
that
Zach
would-
LaVine.
that's tough.
I'm sorry, but look at his numbers. The contracts are basically the same. Look at LaVine's catch and shoot numbers this year. They are, I believe he's shooting like
LaVine's younger.
50+% on catch and shoot threes.
I think Beal's a better fit.
You surround Giannis with that?
I think
I'm
LaVine needs
sorry.
the ball more than you think.
I don't think he does.
You don't realize
think he
the
would be
teams
okay
Levine's
being a
played
three.
on. He's been so ball centric. His entire NBA career, he's had the ball. In his
Even in
hand.
college, he
Well,
was a top
UCLA too.
recruit. Yeah,
But a lot of
Okay,
guys can
the
go.
1 year.
Here's the deal.
Oh, you're
Here's
right.
the
Yeah.
deal. You're gonna sell me on Beal. You're gonna sell me on Beal over Levine, but the contracts are
Beal's
basically the
played with
same.
another ball dominant guard at least.
Yeah.
Levine
Played
would
with
be
John
fine.
Wall.
I think you guys are overstating.
He's
the
playing
fact
really
that
well
Levine's
off ball. I mean, he's the third option right now, and we just read his stats: 48 from the field.
I think
and
Zach
39 from
Levine
three.
would be fine being the
high
third.
volume too.
I
Five-
really
five a
do.
game.
I know what I'm
think he
getting
would
from
be
Bradley
fine.
Beal. I don't know what I'm getting from Zach LaVine on the Bucks team, at least.
I know what you're getting from Zach Levine. His catch
You
and
don't.
shoot
There's no
numbers
way you
this
could.
year are insane. That's all I need to know.
He's
What's
never
the
had
volume
any
on that,
ball in his
though?
hands, though.
What's the volume
Also-
in that?
So you're telling me I got to put Zach Levine in the corner, who's shooting catch and shoot at, I believe the number is 60% right now,
He
No.
would be in the corner.
versus Bradley Beal, which is the same contract. Put Zach Levine in the
they're
corner.
not. I don't think either are good options.
I would agree.
No,
It was
okay,
just
but
a
here's
question.
the deal. Here's the deal. Well, you and I talked about this before we went live. Milwaukee just got their ass kicked in by the Spurs. Something's got to give. You got to make a move. What are your options right now to
Why?
make a move?
Wait, why do we have to make a move?
Oh, so Chris Middleton had a really good game tonight, right?
I don't
Still
know.
lost
I
by
didn't watch the
fucking
game.
30.
He had 21.
Still lost by
He's been
30.
highly efficient since he's been
But
out.
I
you
don't
can't guard a chair.
Yeah,
Fuck,
I
you
don't
can't
care.
guard a chair.
That is worrisome.
And if I'm gonna have a guy who can't go to chair, I think I'd rather have the guy who can't gut a chair be about 5 years younger than Chris Middleton. Chris
Maybe.
Middleton's 32, I believe.
Yeah,
And
but Chris
Zach
Middleton is
LaVine
an
is
expiring contract.
27, 28.
All right, I think this question applies the same. Like Cole and I as Bucks fan, you as a Heat fan. Like, who are you so afraid of this year that you feel like you need to change your roster?
I feel like
No one.
Boston's going to turn it on.
I still
I
think
feel like
Boston's the
Jaylen
best
Brown's
team.
going to turn it on.
I think they're
I
front
don't think I'm
runners.
super afraid of them.
No, never been. Never been. Because
This-
Tatum is not that dude.
Like, I kind of look at the Bucks and I look at Giannis and I kind of think, are we sure? Like, he can't
You have the
just
best
win it
player
this
on the
year?
court. I feel like in a series, the Bucks could have the best two players in the court.
Yeah,
And with
I-
Boston.
They could, but I think if
But the
you
problem
ask
is
We
those
could also
the
lose
minutes
to the
without those
Pacers in the
two.
first round, and I wouldn't be surprised. But
yeah,
But if you
If
put Jimmy in there,
I feel like if I had Zach LaVine in that mix,
Jimmy
it
Butler.
just gives it. See,
You-
here's the thing.
you're
Here's the
talking
thing.
into Jimmy Butler, honestly. I'm almost
Based off
ready.
based off recent reports, Jimmy to the Bucks is not a thing.
I don't think it'll happen.
No, me either. But I can.
Jimmy to the Bucks is no longer a thing. So then you're
But I don't think Levine is either, because the only way Levine was getting to Milwaukee was
I
the
think
deal went to
Levine
the
is an
Bulls.
option.
So
So
how do you make it happen? How?
Here's why Levine is an option, because they can dump Pat Connaughton's contract off to someone else and still stay under the second
with what
apron.
picks? To who?
They have something.
Because you're over. You
Someone
can't.
would-
You need.
It's
one
not
for one.
like
the Bucks.
Pat
The
Connaughton.
Bucks can't. The Bucks can't. They can't do two players without getting under the second apron. So how could they do it?
It's not like Pat Connaughton's making that much money that fucking Detroit or someone wouldn't take that contract.
There are teams that can take Connaughton's contract.
But you're gonna have to give up a pick.
Probably.
I'm okay with giving up a second.
You don't have a
Who
second.
once gave up 5 seconds for Jake
You have
Brown?
no
If you don't
second.
care
You have
about
no
that,
seconds.
Fuck,
You
I
have no
forgot about
seconds.
that.
You gave
I
him up
don't.
for Jay.
Someone will take Pat Connaughton. That's
You
Fuck
gave
them
him up
picks.
for
I just-
Jay.
What was the Rams GM? Fuck them picks.
Yep.
fuck them.
And now
picks.
the Rams are great
Get rid
at
of them all.
drafting.
Jared
So
Burks.
the other person on that Simmons list that I really wanted to talk about was Bam. And I just don't see how, if you're willing to get rid of Jimmy Butler, to me, and Bam was
Can I
top
ask
20.
where he
I
was?
believe Bam's top 20 on that list, which is basically like, we're not even
He's
going to listen
31
to a
on
trade.
this
He's not.
list. He's
He's
31.
not top 25. Yep, 31.
He's 31.
He's 31. Either way,
Between Kyrie and Jaylen Brown, which I think it's fair.
Which
If-
I'd rather
Franz
have
Wagner
either
is
of those
ahead.
two than Bam, but
if I'm Miami,
It depends on the team. It depends on the
if
build.
I'm Miami and I got and I'm trading Jimmy Butler, why
The
would I not
bonus
at
is
least
27.
listen? Why would I not at least listen to what teams are offering for Bam?
Because he's the
Why
captain.
would I not at least hear him out?
He's the captain. The Heat just don't do that, you know. That's the reason. Personally, as a fan, I agree. You listen, but Spo loves Bam, and you know they chose him to be the captain. I don't think he's going anywhere ever.
That's another conversation I need to start having. I don't think Spo's all that great.
We're
sorry.
done. We're not talking about that.
we can't get into this. We need another 2 hours to have this
Yeah.
conversation.
I'm not even going to entertain that, Cole.
I'm
because
locked
we
and
know you're
loaded with
wrong.
stats for days.
I
We're
think
not
Ty
talking
Lue.
about that.
I
We
think
need a
Ty
whole
Lue.
separate podcast for Spo. We honestly
Yeah,
do.
we're not
Alright,
talking about this.
There needs to be a Spo.
All right,
podcast.
let's move off of. You know what? Let's move off of the NBA for now. Let's go to college basketball because this is
Hey,
where.
before we do, we have to talk about this. All-star starters. Tyler Hero is a reserve. We'll take it. But Giannis, what is it, like the 10th year, whatever, that he's been a starter? It was like some crazy record when I went to the game. they announced him as the starter. I don't remember what it was, but that's freaking awesome. Great
I mean,
player.
he's that dude.
All-star Tyler.
Tyler
think-
deserves it.
I think it's kind of like we probably, as Bucks fans, we don't give enough credit to just like Giannis existing. Like,
Yeah.
people forget how fucking awful
We've taken it for
the Bucks
granted.
were before
100%.
Giannis was alive.
He's Dwayne Wade. Like he's Dwayne Wade for you. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Only like times 10.
No,
Yeah,
he's only
he's-
won one.
The Heat probably would have got, but the Heat are in Miami. Like, you guys had hope to get somebody. Like, if we don't draft Giannis,
The
we're
Heat.
never
I mean, the Heat were an expansion franchise before Wade. Like they hadn't really won
right.
anything.
You're a young franchise.
You live in
and you're
Miami.
you're in a luxurious area. Like, you would have got.
But you know how hard it is though to keep players focused, man. There's
Yeah,
so
it's
many
hard.
distractions.
Super hard.
It's hard to win in
Super hard.
Miami. People think it's easy,
But it's
People
way
always
easier
wanna
to do in Miami than it is in Milwaukee. You have to admit
That is
that.
100%
to attract
true.
free agents, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, I honestly, I feel like players would be more locked in Milwaukee than they are in Miami. There's just
That's
too many
maybe
other things
true.
to do. Like
But
all the
if
players in
Milwaukee
Miami,
Bucks
all of
never
them have
draft
side business and
Giannis,
shit.
like, what are they? Are they even still in Milwaukee? There's a
No.
good chance, probably.
No,
not.
they're not. Let
Like-
me answer that for you. They're in
could
Seattle.
be-
They're
that's a good
probably
point.
in
100%.
Seattle.
100%.
There's a good chance that franchise leaves.
Seattle
They
needs
don't take
Seattle needs a franchise. That's a
Oh, they
different
do. I agree.
We're
Seattle and
thinking of great
Vegas.
episode ideas here. Seattle needs a franchise.
Wait, one
All
more,
right.
one more thought on the Bill Simmons list, though.
I'm
Jalen
here
Johnson,
for it.
21, Milwaukee guy.
19
21, though?
baby. 4-1-4.
Do you guys feel
Pretty
like
high.
he's the 21st most valuable asset in the NBA?
I mean, look.
I
I
love
mean, he has the Montes Sabonis at 27. Come on, Tyrese at 26. No.
Hear me out. Oh, wait.
Jalen Johnson,
Wait. I got a couple questions here. We were gonna move off this, but now I got questions. Ooh, what do you mean Tyrese at 26? That's too
Actually-
high?
No, I think Tyrese is worth higher than Jalen Johnson.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh no,
All right.
not Tyrese
all right.
Halliburton. I was talking about Tyrese Halliburton at 26. I think that's too high. I don't think he has him as a.
Oh,
budding
I agree with
franchise
that
guy.
too. I agree
but
with that.
Tyrese
Too.
Maxey.
But you
at
think Jalen
24?
Johnson's higher than Tyrese Halliburton?
Yeah,
He's
I do.
21.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't know.
You agree with
I
that?
don't know.
Yeah,
I know,
Halliburton's
I
a
don't know.
front runner.
I don't.
He hadn't done shit this year.
I think they're
Gosh,
both too
bro.
high. I think they're both too high.
I give him a free
Okay,
pass.
hold on. Let me make the Jalen Johnson argument.
Let me put it this way:
Jalen
Jalen
Johnson's good as
Johnson is
fuck.
one above Chet Holmgren. That's not. That's
Okay, that I
One
don't
below.
agree.
One below.
one below. Yeah, he's Chet Holmgren's 20.
Let me make the Jalen Johnson
Above
argument.
Brandon Miller. And
Amen Thompson untouchable.
Brandon Miller shot a
Amen
guy.
Thompson is untouchable. Amen
Dude.
Thompson should be higher on
You
this
think
list,
so?
in my opinion.
Bro, okay.
He's below
Well,
Jalen Williams.
Will, you
I
have
wouldn't
to
put him below
understand, Bill Simmons made that list the day after Thompson hit the game winner against the Celtics.
I don't think that.
Also,
I'll give Bill Simmons some
Thompson's-
credit. I don't think that factored in.
it did. He said it did. Also, Thompson
I have a hot take.
has played really good the last couple weeks.
He's good.
Like
He's
Thompson's
good.
done some
He
stuff.
got owned by
the-
Tyler though. He got owned by Tyler. Tyler got in
Tyler
his
good
head.
as fuck.
Dude, I love Tyler, man. I think he should be higher than Jalen Johnson.
Where's Hero on this list?
He's like 30th. 30
Is he
something.
below
He's up-
Bam?
Yeah,
That's wrong.
I agree.
That's wrong.
Okay. All right. Before we get too off track, let me make the Jalen Johnson argument that I want to make.
Nobody wants to hear it. No playing with
Okay.
you.
I do want to hear it because I love Jalen Johnson.
Okay.
So
Lucky.
Atlanta did a thing this year where they told Trae Young to stop thinking he was Steph Curry. Hey, go play point guard this year, right? Like, be a point guard. Don't take all these shots you don't need to take. Push the ball in transition. Get the other guys in your team involved. Trust your teammates, basically, is what I'm getting at. He started trusting Jalen Johnson. And then before Johnson got hurt, Jalen Johnson was having the best year of his career.
Double.
I think that trajectory is only up.
He's
Like,
averaging a double-double right now.
Yeah, if Trae Young is gonna play that way and he's gonna trust Jalen Johnson, like Jalen Johnson's got all the talent in the world, man. He played for Duke. I think it was that COVID year. So it was already a jacked up year to begin with anyway. So screw that year for college stats.
He slipped in that draft for no reason.
He did.
Exactly.
He really did. Plus, he's being
And
from
like,
Milwaukee.
I think
feel
his
like
upside is
get nicked for
huge.
that.
Well, he had a little thing too where he went to a prep school, then he ended up coming back to
Mhm.
Nicolet. His senior year was kind of weird. Like, he was just one of those guys who played at different places and people got scared of him.
And
Yeah,
and
he's
I
averaging
think now
50
that
from the field.
yeah, and
He's
I think
efficient.
now
He's
that
always been crazy efficient.
Those
now that
turnovers are high though. 2.9 a game.
Nah, you
That is-
live with that. You live with that with the young guy who's
Yeah, I
putting
mean,
up
he
double-double
averages one
numbers.
block. I mean, put one block and
Great underrated
almost 2
defender.
steals a game. Yeah, he at 1.6 a game. That's pretty good.
He plays for Atlanta. That's the other thing you got to remember too. Like Atlanta's got this perceived notion of being a dog crap defensive
You made your
team
point though, right?
and all this stuff. But I'm saying, I know. I'm just saying.
He still shouldn't be above Tyrese Maxey
I do
Yeah,
feel like Bill
and
Simmons
John Morant.
does a thing where he finds, like, he did it with Herb Jones one year. Like, he likes to find one guy that he really likes, and he's like, I'm gonna overrate the fuck out of this guy on this list, so everybody talks about it.
He has.
And we're falling for it right now, but
Yeah.
at least it's a guy.
I'm
makes me happy.
I'm not saying he should be above certain guys. I'm just making the mere argument.
He's probably not the 21st most valuable player
No.
in the NBA.
No,
but I like him a lot.
Bridges is 33 too. I don't know about that.
Okay,
Kel's
all right.
33.
Yeah, I have a hot take on this. You put. I have a hot take, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
Ant is number 7. Jason Tatum is number 5, above Giannis.
That's crazy.
Okay. All right. So if you listen, okay, here's where I'll step in.
And so it should be, to me, it would be because he has Luka at number 4. I think Giannis is above Luka for one.
SGA is 2 on this also.
But
right?
Anthony Edwards, I think it should be top 5 in this list too.
So as someone who listens,
I think he's got one right. I think he's got 2 through 10 fucked up.
As someone who listened to the podcast, I will say this. He had Giannis above Tatum, and then Russillo came on and was like, well, Tatum's only 26 and Giannis is 30. And that's the whole reason that those two got switched.
Giannis
he still shouldn't be above Ant.
No, did just
Ant's 23. Ant can lead the team. Jason's not the lead dog, and we'll move on. We'll talk about
this. No, I say we could talk all day about this, but let's go briefly into some college hoops. And this is the main reason I wanted Sawyer on today as well, because he is the group chat's diehard Marquette fan, and will follow him because Jimmy Butler and Dwayne Wade went to Marquette.
Dwayne Wade,
and they played for the Heat.
Dwayne Wade. Jimmy's on my shit list.
Can't disrespect.
But
I love him, but he's on.
I had the hot take in my first article, and I'll say it's a hot take because Marquette has been good this year and
aged poorly. Even since then,
I'm not even going to say it aged poorly. So the reason Sawyer,
they moved up after losing.
And
then they lost again.
Let me lead into this. So Wisconsin played their worst game against Maryland on Wednesday. Literally their worst game, free throw percentage, shooting percentage, and everything this year. And I get a text from Sawyer that's like, your takes are trash. They're a one-man team. Blah, 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 blah. Which is grossly wrong because John Blackwell and John Tanji are at bare minimum a two-man team. After that, I'll give you don't you even give me that. Blackwell's been arguably better than Tanji in Big Ten play. However,
Blackwell's been
I will admit that I underrated Marquette's supporting cast because they are young. However, the Big East is garbage.
Agreed.
The Big East is trash.
Agreed.
And I think that's where that hurts them in March, which
I'm
is
super
what
disappointed we're 9-1 right now. Not
Which
being
is-
10-0 is a wild disappointment.
that loss
I say
that
that
loss at home to Xavier is gross. I'm not
It's a
going to
gross
lie.
loss.
Just because that
Gross.
game was gross.
I agree.
But I will give you that Wisconsin hasn't. You guys have way better wins than Wisconsin, and I'm not denying that. I'm not even denying that necessarily you're the better team. I'm not denying that you're the better team.
Well, we played head-to-head
beat
and we
us.
beat you, so yeah, of course we're the better team.
I just think your young core in March is going to be a problem, and that's the
Our
only
young
reason.
core, we're led
That's
by
the only
3
reason.
seniors.
Joplin
Our top
and
3 leading
Jones.
scorers are all seniors.
Joplin and Jones. Stevie Mitchell
Mitchell
plays defense. He didn't do anything else besides
He's
that.
averaging 15 a game.
In the Big East.
No, he averages 14.6.
Garbage. You're
He
garbage.
averages 14.6.
And our 4th leading scorer is a junior.
Is that Chase Ross?
Yes.
I didn't know he was a junior. I thought he was younger than that.
No,
Either way.
And our 5th leading scorer is a junior. We're all seniors.
That was like a cold one.
Damn. Yeah, I guess that might have been a bad take.
The point you're trying to make, which I do know what you're trying to make, is after the starting 5, we are young. It's sophomores and freshmen who are gradually getting better as the year goes on. The problem is teams who have the amount of returning minutes that we have tend to do extremely well in March, which is why I'm optimistic about Marquette, is because our top 3 guys have played a shit ton of college basketball, which generally, as you look through college basketball history, bodes very well in March for teams.
Except John Calipari, for a couple of years.
Well, those are usually freshmen.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any John Calipari talk because his team is
no.
dog
The
shit.
only talk I'm gonna make is I don't watch a lot of college basketball. Well, how about them Gators? How about
Florida?
Number 5. Florida, I did watch the
how
guards.
Much have you watched
those
them?
3 guards. I watched like 2 games.
Extremely fun watch.
I watched 2 games because those guards are fun.
Those guards are awesome. I love Florida.
The SEC downright is insane.
I'm looking at the rankings right now. I mean,
no,
it's a lot of SEC.
I know you don't watch a lot of college basketball.
Number 1, number 4, number 5, number 8.
It's gotten worse. 2 weeks ago, it was like
13,
1, 2, 4,
number
6.
14. That's insane.
Will, I know you don't watch a lot of college basketball, but the SEC this year,
it's awesome.
Is probably the best college basketball conference.
I turn it on in March. You guys know I go by seasons, right? The Heat season is almost over, so I'll lock in. I'll lock in March.
I've always been obviously Big East is my conference, but I've always watched a shit ton of Big 12 because generally the Big 12 has been the best conference. I've switched that this year. This year I've watched
it's the SEC.
I've watched so much SEC basketball.
It's not even close.
Because it's every night. It's Tennessee's playing Auburn, Alabama's playing fucking Kentucky. It's
Texas.
Every single night there's a different top 10 SEC game. It's
Texas A&M is probably the 6th best team in that conference,
and they're
insanely good.
They might be a Final Four team.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Alabama's coach is Nate Oates. They're
my guy. Watertown.
Nate Oates is good shit.
I love
that.
Nate Oates is good shit.
Watertown, Wisconsin.
Dude, Nate Oates.
Bruce Pearl at Auburn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nate Oates benched who was the preseason player of the year in the second half of a game against a ranked opponent. It was you're just going to sit on the bench, and they still won.
You're talking about the Mark Sears game?
Where they benched him?
Well, he benched himself.
Against LSU, yeah.
Yeah. Mark Sears
Preseason
benched
player of
himself.
the year. They're like, nah, you can sit on the bench because you're not.
No, he
bringing
benched
the
himself.
defensive
Oates
version.
tried to put him back in, and Sears said, "No, we're better without me right now."
So
That's
I
what
have a question
the
for you, boys.
SEC is right now. And Auburn, dude, Auburn. And
They're
here's the
loaded.
thing about college basketball.
Auburn's overrated. I will say that.
Oh, I
Johnny
don't agree
Broom's
with that.
not him. He is not him.
Janai Broom?
He's not him. He's not
I
him.
haven't watched.
It's Auburn, Duke, and
He's
the
good,
rest
don't
of the
get me wrong.
country. It's
Cooper.
Auburn, Duke,
Who's
and the
the-
rest
who's
of
the-
the
Duke
So-
also not them.
So who's the best player in college basketball right now?
Cooper Flag.
Cooper
Flag
Flag,
is
yeah.
the best player.
Cooper
in college
Flag.
basketball.
So they got a chance.
Cam Jones is a
So
close
they got a
second,
chance.
but
So they got a chance.
No.
yes. Yes.
Like if you got the best player in the court,
What do you mean,
always
no?
got a chance.
No.
Who's
It's
Who's
Cooper
in the court?
Flag. It's Cooper Flag. It's Janai Broom, and then
No, Janai
maybe
Broom can't
Cam
handle the
Jones.
ball.
How
You
about
can't
Allen?
tell me
How about Allen
you can't tell
Bailey?
me a non-ball handler is in the top two. That's
How about
crazy.
Allen Bailey?
Ace Bailey?
Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey. Is it Ace Bailey? All right.
Ace Bailey.
So Ace Bailey and
Our
Harper.
Rutgers team
Yeah.
sucks though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
with the
understand
DMP
why they
stats.
suck.
He's a
I don't know why
bucket.
they suck
He's a
either. I
bucket.
thought they were going to be fun.
Understand
But
that.
He's
they're
a
not
bucket.
even fun to watch, honestly.
Ace
But Ace
Bailey
Bailey is a bucket.
is
Ace
it
Bailey's
Dylan?
good.
Which
Dylan Harper.
is it? Yeah, they're gonna be top 5 picks.
They're both going to be top 5 picks.
That team is
Probably
awful.
gonna be top
Very-
3 picks. To be
That
honest,
team is
with
awful.
Rutgers got to
They're
fire
11
their
and
coach.
10.
you. Yeah, and they have
Can't go
2
up.
lottery picks.
Can't go up.
That's crazy.
You can't be Rutgers, have 2 lottery picks, and not. They're going to miss the tournament. Like they're not going to make the.
They
tournament.
might not make the Big Ten tournament. At
Yeah.
the NCAA tournament, they might not
They're
make the
that
Big
bad.
Ten tournament. That's nuts.
You're getting fired.
You should.
Yeah,
be.
he's.
They're
he's
getting. They
gotta
have 2
go.
guys averaging 18, and they suck.
They, it's
Is that
wild.
Wisconsin's best win though at Rutgers
No, it's Arizona.
at home? I guess Arizona
Arizona's-
beat Iowa State. Yeah, they've had.
Yeah,
some good wins, though.
Arizona.
Did you watch that game? That Iowa State Arizona game was awesome.
Yeah, Caleb Love hit that half court shot.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Oh, I did watch that. I saw that.
Iowa State.
No,
Iowa
that-
State played
that-
like shit that whole game. Came out of nowhere, and it was like, damn, Iowa State's gonna steal another. And then
Dude, I
What
wonder
the-
what the betting
somehow,
line
some way,
was.
Caleb Love made it
for
happen.
that.
No. Let's low key talk Iowa State real quick. They brought their best
3?
player off the bench for like half the year. Curtis Jones is their best player, and they're just like, yeah, we're gonna bring him off the bench all year.
People,
Until
nobody
they
pays
finally
attention.
decide.
Milikovic is hurt right now.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he is hurt, but still, Curtis Jones is their
Everybody-
best player.
Like they're so
Milwaukee-
good that people pretend
Milwaukee-
like one of their top 5 guys isn't hurt. And it's like, well,
That's a
no,
Milwaukee
one of their
guy.
best players is hurt.
Yeah, Iowa State
Iowa
recruits
State's-
Milwaukee so well.
Well, it's Otzelberger's from Milwaukee.
All right.
Yeah, they recruit Wisconsin way better than Marquette or Wisconsin does.
Yeah,
I feel like, dude. Okay, I feel like no Wisconsin program recruits Wisconsin well, other than Wisconsin with linemen. Other than that, that's it.
David
yeah.
Joplin. David Joplin's from Brookfield.
Here's my argument that Marquette recruits Wisconsin better than Wisconsin does, but I don't have
I
an
don't think
argument.
Marquette has to recruit Wisconsin.
Generally,
Neither does
has to
Wisconsin.
recruit Wisconsin. Yeah,
No, they
do.
don't.
They should.
They
With all the
recruit
good
Minnesota
players they
very
don't
well. They recruit Minnesota very well.
there was a weird time, especially when Wojo was at Marquette, where we both just recruited Minnesota, and like
Yeah.
every player on both teams were from Minnesota. But
Yeah, heaven
They got
forbid
good
Minnesota
players.
ever gets a representable program. We might
Yeah,
be
we'd both be
screwed at that
fucked.
point. 'Cause that's where we take all of our players from. Because God knows, I don't know why. Like, I mean, in past years, I would understand why Wisconsin can't get Wisconsin kids, but now that they're playing up tempo and they're changing the way they play.
you
I
guys
don't-
are good now.
I don't understand how Wisconsin or Marquette can't recruit Wisconsin. Like, I don't. One last thing before we go. And as much as I hate Marquette, I really hope they don't lose Shaka to Indiana because I've heard
He
some
turned down
stuff about
Kentucky.
that.
He's not going to go to Indiana.
Indiana's been willing to pay is the problem. I really hope he doesn't go.
You don't think Kentucky was willing to pay?
Well, they got Mark Pope. I mean, Mark Pope probably ended up being the best hire for them once they whiffed.
Yeah, I would agree.
Once they whiffed on Brace or Scott Drew and whoever, I don't even remember who else they were going for, but Scott Drew was their main target. And once they whiffed on him, I don't know.
I think Shaka will always be the guy who's rumored to those jobs because Marquette isn't viewed as a premier program that way. But for
Shaka, because they're in the Big East. If they would just leave the Big East, Marquette would be.
They invite us to the Big Ten. We'll come to the Big Ten and win that every year.
Mark Pope makes $5 million a year. At
that's
Kentucky.
Not a lot.
Shaka definitely makes
more. Shaka makes 3.
Really?
3 per season.
But he's also for Shaka, okay, he did the Texas thing already, right? Like he went to a big school and did that. And you could argue failed. I wouldn't say he failed, but he didn't win a tournament game while he was there, and Texas viewed it as he failed.
Yeah. I mean,
and he's home now. Like his mom lives in Milwaukee. I think he's content. I could be wrong.
I think it would take a massive contract from India. I think it would take something like
he might take a bag. I don't think he will. I think there's a 0% chance he will, but I could be wrong.
All right. Gentlemen, let's wrap this up. We're at the hour mark. Will, where can they find you on social media?
Uncle Poppy 26 on all socials.
Sawyer, where can they find you?
Sawyer Huff 1, every single platform.
All right, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all coming on. Hope to do it again soon.
God bless.